Welcome, everybody. I'm Holly Clear, the Social Media Advisor, coming to you live today with a dear friend of mine and memory keeper, Jennifer Wise. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to have you. This is so fun because you not only get to help businesses, but you get to help individuals. So being able to share you with my audience is a special treat today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love being able to work on both the business side and the personal. It's meaningful and rewarding, but it's so much fun.
Yay! Okay, so before we get to talking about you and your business and all of the different amazing things you get to do, I want to know, if you were to be a superhero, which one would you be and why?
Okay, I have a really hard time picking one superhero. My first thought goes to Batman. And that's because, I don't know, like everybody has a secret identity. Everybody's super cool, but there's just something about Batman. I don't know if it's the underground cave. I don't know if it's Alfred or like the bat sign. I don't know, but he just seems like the ultimate superhero. And I will date myself by saying that I think Michael Keaton was the best Batman. And
Agreed.
That goes back a little ways. But I also really like Captain America. I love that he is just so like, I don't know. He just does this like, I don't know. He chooses the right every time. He has this courage and, I don't know, strength of character that I really admire. And I admire that in everyday heroes too. So I really like Captain America.
Well, and he's strong and resilient and just, all American.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So those are my two.
I love it. I think both of those are a great combination of your personality, and yeah, spunky. I love your selections. So I was trying to remember, we were actually talking for a moment about where we met and how we met and how we got connected and the different types of things that we've been able to do together.
Yeah, so I believe we met probably 2 years ago at a business networking group, BNI.
Yes.
And
2 years? Has it been 2 years already?
I think it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. Yeah. And I don't remember. It's one of those things where I think, well, I don't know. When did I not know Holly? I don't know. It seems odd to think about that. But yeah, so I think it's been about 2 years, and we met at a networking group, and then we both joined another networking group, or we're part of one, together as well. So
I think it's been so fun. It's a great way to build a business and build relationships. I think first and foremost are those key power partner relationships and just the synergies that you're able to incorporate together.
Yeah. And I took a couple of classes from you too, right? When we first met. I took a couple of your online. I know I did Pinterest and LinkedIn, and that was great because I was still, I used Pinterest personally, but I was just opening a business Pinterest account, and I just had a lot to learn. So it was great. I learned all that keywords and all that great stuff that you teach in your classes. So it was
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. And I remember you attending those, and I think that was actually the first way we got connected was through the classes.
I think so. Yeah.
And you've done a great job with all your social channels. I will tell you guys at the end of this live broadcast, I'm going to share some links on how to get a hold of Jennifer and all of the different places where she's located online. She's got some really great profiles, shares a lot of excellent content from her blog to Pinterest to all of the channels. And so you definitely want to connect to her. She also has a private Facebook group that she provides all sorts of tips and ideas on different ways to incorporate some of the things that she does in your day-to-day from business to personal. So I am very excited for you to get to share about those things, but make sure to stay till the end. The comments will be below, and connect, because she's definitely someone you want in your circle and your tribe.
Thank you.
So before we go into all the beautiful things that you do, what was one of the challenges that you had in starting your business? As we are, business owners sharing in life together, I just find it's extraordinarily valuable to be able to share in a challenge to help other people.
Definitely. So I've been with Heritage Makers for 12 years, and at first, so it works through a direct selling method. And at first I thought, that's not me. And, but I could not stop thinking when Africa introduced me, I could not stop thinking about the possibilities of it. People could preserve their memories and photos who don't scrapbook because not everybody does, or whatever. Anyway, I just kept going over all of these things in my head about how good it would be for people. And I thought, okay, I'm an introvert by nature. I don't just walk up and shake somebody's hand like, sort of the classic business person. And so it took me a few years of kind of trying to find myself. And I think that's a big key. No matter what your business is trying to learn what you are good at. I'm a good listener. I'm really responsible. I'm good at helping people, all of these other things that are my strengths I can naturally do without maybe fitting into a mold that you might think of. So it took me a few years to kind of find myself and realize that I can run with my own talents. And that's really what I should do rather than trying to kind of make myself fit into a box. And so I think that's a really important business strategy.
I completely agree with you, because when we try to fit into a box, we often can't conform in that way. That's not how we're built. And we are drawn in and attracted by people who love our gifts for what they are and don't necessarily need us to change any of those things. And I think that's really super powerful, because you do find yourself going into it in networking, even going into a large environment with all these people who have relationships and conversations, and what in the world do I even say? And right. How do I look? How do I hold out my hand? There's even just these rules, right, of how things should be, and the ideal business person. And in all actuality, if we just stop and pause and be ourselves in everything that we do, then we're living in our authentic self.
Exactly. I was just thinking that how much power there is in authenticity. People are looking for authenticity. People want to, you want to be approachable. If you're working with somebody in business, you want to be able to approach them and not have them be the mask, the face of direct selling or whatever. You really want to be real. So.
The Captain America, right?
Comes right back there. Yep, exactly.
Or the Batman, just very powerful. So what is a driving force for you to do what you do? You don't work a corporate job, J-O-B, right? So what is your driving force? What gets you up in the morning?
So my driving force, and really the whole reason that I started this business, is relationships. It's, for me personally, it's my kids. There are so many benefits to memory keeping, from an increase of self-esteem to, a greater sense of belonging, a greater sense of purpose. And I really wanted to gift that to them. I really want them to have pictures of, we just got back from a weekend with cousins and grandparents, and I took a lot of pictures, and I want to preserve them. They don't belong on my camera or my phone. They belong in something that can be held and looked at and loved. And it's important to me to be able to tell the story of those photos. Why?
Okay, we have a slight technical glitch, and I don't know if it's due to internet, but we've lost Jennifer for just a moment. So as we're waiting for Jennifer to reconnect, I am just going to kind of highlight for you some of the things about Heritage Makers that I find extraordinarily valuable. Jennifer is a distributor of Heritage Makers, which is a company that allows you to take your images and put them from digital format into a format that's printed. So from photo albums to magazines to keepsakes. As far as business goes, there's business magazines that I've seen people create. And welcome back. I'm just kind of highlighting what the value of Heritage Makers is. I've talked a little bit about putting digital into scrapbooking and magazines and some keepsakes. So welcome back.
Thank you. You can hear me, right?
I can. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I think you were asking me about kind of what my driving force was, and I was just
Yes.
talking about my kids and that I just want for them the power that comes from just knowing who you are and having a place to belong. And so that really is my driving force. Secondarily, I've discovered this recently. I've been a memory keeper forever. So I've always done that and I always will. But secondarily, recently, I've kind of discovered how good it is for me. It is a silent place for me to go and organize events of my life. It lowers stress. It gives me just this peaceful place. And memory keeping can be very cathartic and healing as well. So those are really, that's kind of a long story of my driving force behind what I do.
I love it. I think it's beautiful. So what would you consider are your top 3 services?
So I mainly introduce people to Heritage Makers. It's online digital personal publishing. And I teach them how to use the program, why it's better than anything else out there, and that kind of thing. So number 1, I introduce people to Heritage Makers, teach them how to use it, get them going in it. Number 2, I would say would be that I hold events. I hear from a lot of people that they would love to do memory keeping, but they're too busy. So that's that's a very common theme, and really in 12 years, it's more.
That would be me.
I was like 5 minutes. Okay, that would be Holly. We talked about that, but so I think my second service, second in importance, would be holding events. So I have 2 each month in the South Denver metro area, and you just bring your laptop and you work, and you've got time on your calendar, 2 hours or 3 hours, depending on which one. I've got a daytime one and an evening one. And it just gives you time to get done what you want to get done. It helps you prioritize memory keeping and turn your goal into something real. And then I have one that I'm just starting in Arvada. So that's going to be once a month as well. So I have a total of 3 per month live, and then, in person. And then I have, in my private Facebook group, I hold online, I call them online digicrops, where we just meet at our computers, and it's, again, time on your calendar to put towards something that you've been wanting to do. And we do that about 4 times a year, once a quarter or so.
That's so valuable. Valuable.
So
I attended one of your hosted events, which I came home and told my husband, I said, I need to do this more often because I intentionally had time to just separate myself and do it. And I think that's the biggest thing across the board in all of the memory keeping is we just don't take the time, but an hour can make a world of difference in capturing those memories for our kids and our family.
Exactly. If you took 1 hour a week this year, that's 52 hours that you would not have otherwise spent. What could you do in 52 hours with your pictures and your memories, right? So it really is important and a good way to do it. My third service that I do is I actually hire out to create projects for people. I can do the whole thing. I'm working right now with a therapist who likes to give her clients gifts, and she'll often hire me to do just like a little metal print with a picture and a quote, or a canvas for someone's wall. And they're so sweet and meaningful. And I feel honored to be a part of what she is gifting to other people. But I also can, if it's memory keeping, I can just, help you in the getting your photos organized part, or I can help you, do the whole book and then you only go in through and put in the captions, or I can do as little or as much as you want with any project. And I just hire out for an hourly fee and just kind of help people get on their way.
I love it. Thank you for doing what you do. I very much appreciate it personally.
Good.
So what is the best way that you could benefit a business in growth this year through the use of Heritage Makers and memory keeping?
So I brought a couple of things to show, if that's okay. So for personal things, so this is currently my favorite book. This is my mom's life story book. For personal things, the books and the scrapbook pages are my favorite. This is a book of stories that my parents wrote to my kids when we lived far away. My dad illustrated them.
Oh.
They're just funny and cute. And then this is the big family trip we took the year before my mom passed away. So this was our last big family trip, and I wanted to make sure everybody in our family had all the photos. So I made one book and got multiple copies. But so that on the personal side is, perfect. And then on the business side is something I've been really enjoying recently because so we started with storybooks. That was our first product, and then we've added a lot since then. We have a whole business line, which is super fun. So I only grabbed a couple of things. We've got card magnets and business cards and all sorts of things. But these two are my personal favorite, and this I think is a great way that I can help businesses. So this one is called a trifold brochure.
Ooh.
And they come in a pack of 20. They're like less than $1 each, and you've got 6 panels here.
Love.
Stamp, throw it in the mail, and then somebody gets in the mail. That's so exciting these days to like, oh, someone was thinking of me. They sent me something. That doesn't happen very much anymore. So this is just a traditional thank you, my little thank you note to everyone. And then here's what's going on in my events this year. Here are some, website little helps if you need help. I've got some information on the back. So that's a trifold brochure. And then address labels are super fun because, yes, they're address labels, but they actually fit perfectly around Hershey nuggets. So you can put... I've got like little business,
I love those.
Whatever. You can put pictures on them and stuff. So I think one way that I can really help business owners is through these really personalized products. I feel like, and maybe it's just because I do so much networking, I don't know, but I feel like I know a bunch of Mary Kay people, and I know a bunch of financial advisors, and I know a bunch of Pampered Chef or whatever it is. I know a lot. I don't just know one realtor, right? So if you have a business where you're kind of one in a handful, being able to kind of elevate yourself to be that one in a million, be the one that they remember, be the one social media advisor that they were really impressed with, the one that they really remember, then I feel like that's something really fun and exciting that I can bring for really it's very cost effective. And I really enjoy doing that, helping people kind of promote their business. It's really fun.
I love it. It's absolutely powerful. And I don't know if you have anything around your space with those cards. Those have been my all-time favorite. There's a stack of playing cards.
Yeah. Let me grab them. They're right here.
Okay, perfect.
You introduce them and I'll grab them.
Okay, so these playing cards could be all the same or each unique. And it's a deck of cards. So you've got anything you could put on them. They could be memories, they could be tips, they could be your quotes. As far as family, each of the family members could have a different card in the deck that you're playing.
Yeah, so these are the cards that Holly's talking about. This is just one of them. I'll show you a couple. So like she said, so it's a deck of playing cards. You're making a deck of playing cards, which is so fun. And you create it all digitally, and then it's printed and shipped to you. This particular one I've made to be a coupon. So I give this out to people who haven't tried Heritage Makers yet. There are instructions on the back of the card, exactly what to do. I even have a QR code printed on the front here so that they can scan it if they want to see my YouTube video that shows them how to make this item. And then I've got another couple ones over here. This one was for a swag bag that I did recently. And again, I just made all the fronts the same and all the backs the same. In a regular playing card deck, like with family members and stuff, you do all the backs the same and then you can make all the fronts different. But so this one is it's kind of an advertisement for the playing cards, and it just says, what could you do with a playing card deck, right? And I just made it kind of cute. And then on the back, there's a recipe for chocolate truffles. So a little recipe.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there are a lot of fun things you can do with the playing cards. They make really fun and unique family gifts, especially holidays and stuff, but you really can do a lot with business as well. I recently helped somebody make one that was a loyalty card, kind of like a punch card. And so there were 5 little things at the bottom that you could punch out when they'd made so many purchases. And then on the back is all of her contact information, her Facebook group, and stuff like that. So
I love it. And you guys also can print business cards. You mentioned the magnets for the car, some canvas. You can even do something really nice for an expo table, not only having the promotional products that you give out and the business cards on the table, but you can also have some really nice portrait of what it is that you do highlighted on the table as well.
Exactly. There are tons, and I think that's what's so fun. I feel like you can really just get anything you want. There are so many products, and because you can do anything with any product, you can be very creative and I could make playing cards for, fill in the blank. So it can really fit any business and really, make you stand out.
And that's really great for customer appreciation as well, because if you want to give some really customized gifts, it's a great option.
Exactly.
So what are some things that you are incorporating as far as your own personal goals, some things that you've got in place to reach your goals for this year?
So I think for me personally, for my business, I've got 2 main goals, 2 main things that I'm doing. The first one is just meeting new people. I've tried out a lot of networking groups, and I've picked a few that I like. And so I'm consistent in those, and I make sure that I am always there and trying to support other businesses, get to know other people, and really build those relationships. So that I would say is my first thing that I'm trying to do in 2017 to reach my goals. The second one is that I started teaching a lot more online classes. That really can help me reach more people as well. That allows me to meet people who are not in my state, not anywhere near me. And so that's something that I really have been trying to do this year regularly, whether it's I have a memory keeping class I'm actually teaching this Thursday. And then next month I'm teaching a business products workshop. So I like to do those, often and be able to get the word out and reach more people that way too.
Wonderful. So what are the next steps on the best ways to get to work with you and get connected to Heritage Makers and kind of take a step forward in that memory keeping adventure?
Okay. Well, to get in touch with me, I would say scroll down and find all the social media posts that Holly's posting. But then, exactly, scroll down. But then after that, I've got a lot of, online tutorials. If I can't sit down right next to you and show you, okay, well, here's where you log in and here's all that. I've got all that on my YouTube channel, all that's on video, so I can help you either in person or not in person. But if you are a little behind in preserving your photos and memories, my 3 suggestions are these. So number 1, organize your photos and choose your favorites. And I think sometimes when I say that, people think, well, that's why I'm not doing it in the first place, silly, because I don't have my photos organized. But it really is the first place to start. And like you said, if you can just set aside an hour a week, you can make a lot of progress. If you just say every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, this is what our family does. We're going to sit down together, either, get the photos from the camera to the computer or get them, once they're on the computer into a lovely digital book or wherever you are in the process, just dedicating that 1 hour. So organize and choose your favorites is step 1. Choose your favorites can be hard for some people, but I think these days we have to be a little more realistic about our pictures than we are being. Because if you go to a really, on a really cool trip and you take 400 photos, but that's 400 more photos than you have time to do something with, then you need to be willing to say, I got to just choose my favorite 20. I have to choose my favorite 50 or whatever it is. be realistic about what you can do something with. So organize and choose your favorites is step one. Step two is to find a memory keeping method that you're going to love. I think for a long time, kind of since the invention of scrapbooking, people think, well, I don't scrapbook. I can't do anything with my photos. And that's false. Photography has been around for 200 years. Scrapbooking's been around for like 25, right?
Wow.
So people obviously find something to do with their photos that's not scrapbooking. So if you're a scrapbooker, great, do it, fine. If you need to just, if you need to do it digitally, do it digitally. If you need to just print out your photos and buy those little pocket pages and just stick them in, you know, do that. Whatever you will do that. Don't feel like you have to do something just because it's trendy or just because whatever. Find something you're going to love. I always suggest something addictive. Heritage Makers is totally addictive, which is why I do it all the time. I'm completely caught up on my photos. I have not done the ones from June 3rd on. Other than that, every photo I've ever taken has been preserved because it's addicting. Wow. I set aside the time and I love it. I enjoy it. It's downtime. It's peaceful, right? So find something you're going to love. Find something that you will do. Find something that will make memory keeping possible for you. And then the last suggestion that I have is to simply prioritize. Just set aside the time. You're never going to, accidentally have 2 hours to spare and go, oh, I can preserve my photos. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. We make time for things. We don't find time for things. So prioritize it. You could make it a family activity. Like I said, Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock, this is what our family does. Or you could, once a month, I spend 3 hours with my friends and I do this, or whatever it is. But find that time, make that time.
Just do it.
Exactly. Nike had it right all these years.
I love it. I love you so much. And you just have such a big heart for keeping and treasuring those precious moments. And I am terrible about getting those things put into place. I was a scrapbooker and then time just ran away once I had my second one, right? Mm-hmm. And so it is a case of you need to just make time because time isn't going to make you. And I would love an extra 2 hours, but I would also love to be able to sit there with my daughters and just flip through pages of our memories together. And I need to just do it.
Yeah.
So
right.
Thank you, Jennifer, so much for sharing with us today some awesome ideas, sharing with us about your business. And gosh, I just appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to do this. I love opportunities to share something that is so meaningful, not just to me, but can be so meaningful for other people. And that's really the heart of why I do what I do. So thank you for just giving me the opportunity to share. I appreciate it.
I just appreciate you. And you guys don't forget to follow Jennifer's social links. Those are going to be at the end of the live video. They will also be in the description on YouTube and any other place that we want to share. So remember, keep taking pictures, put them into memories, and actually hand deliver them to someone. It might make somebody's day, whether it's through a business contact or for personal reasons. Get out there and share some high quality images that are unique to you and your adventures. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So let's be awesome and grow in life together. Cheers, friends. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.